Welcome back to the show, everybody. We got a good one lined up for you today. You just never know who's into crypto, and guess what? Our efforts are working. Our voice is being heard. Many are saying Ether may land and be the next to land on the bad book side of the SEC. We'll tell you all about it. U.S. Congress is going to meet to demystify crypto. Well, that's a day late, but we'll take it anyway because we need it. Ripple continues to build out across the world, and I tell you, there's some really, really great things to learn about what they're doing and who they're doing it with. The CEO of FTX, which has had a huge announcement, they're going to do a big Super Bowl ad. You know, they got Tom Brady and so many other athletes working with them. Discusses with David Schwartz the winners and losers in this race of the fourth industrial revolution and the internet of value, and you're going to want to hear every single bit of it. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter at BackupBradleyAbove, and everything that we're talking about here today. $2.777 trillion market cap right now. We've seen some sell-off to the tune of 2.21% here in the market, but we know we're still seeing a lot of fresh money in this space, even though Bitcoin right now is back down at 63,800 plus. Ethereum's taking a breath right here at 4,500 plus, just under 4,600. Solana is at 229.06, and we see Cardano at $2.02, and XRP now at 118, off by 3.66% on the 24-hour. Let's take a look at the range. We see the range here is range on the low side at 116.69 and the high side at 124.40. That's a lot lower than we were yesterday, and we seem to be creeping back with the sell-off here. So look, we do know this much, we can tell you, is that support lines have been at $1.22, $1.23, and below that is at $1.13. So if we see it go below 113, then we start saying to ourselves, hey, what's going on here, right? But nevertheless, it looks like we're still within a comfortable range for some more upside to come, believe it or not. Not financial advice. Take a look at this. The numbers are brought to you by Link2. I want to show you a new feature inside of this with Link2, and this is really great, and this is the kind of stuff that they do. Again, you have to be an accredited investor to get this Ripple SPVs, Uphold, or Kraken, right, or Link2 themselves, and the other great products that were just added. But I tell you this, if you go and click on the products themselves, they have an investment summary now. And when you click on that, you get all of this information to show you what's going on with each company. How about that? And this, I believe, is a part of a relationship that they've just connected with CB Insights, which if you're a member, if you just register and become a member to this company, you don't even have to be accredited. You can get access to this information, which can cost north of $300,000. And you can get access to some of that information for free. How about that? Make sure you check them out, link2.com. Looking right here, I covered this the other day, but this is the Apple CEO, Tim Cook, revealing that he holds cryptocurrencies. You just never know who's holding. Listen to this.
Do you own crypto, any Bitcoin or Ethereum? Would you play around with this?
I do, yeah. I think it's reasonable to own it as a part of a diversified portfolio. And I'm not giving anybody investment advice, by the way.
And that's basically the gist of what he says. But think about that. I think it's reasonable to hold it as diversification in a portfolio. That is moving beyond speculation and really considering Bitcoin to be a hedge. This isn't just you or I. This is a CEO of Apple saying this. I think this is hugely positive for the ultimate outlook of Bitcoin and crypto in general. And so is this, believe it or not. Look, how many smoking guns does it take to shoot out a light bulb? Just one, but this is a cannon. It says here, it looks like another gem for the crypto law US library, and it really is. It's when the Ethereum founders were pitching investors, they used the term IPO, literally. Use that term. They understood exactly what they were doing by skirting U.S. regulation from the SEC, claiming they were just selling a product licensed in Switzerland. That is the problem here. And I don't want to see anybody get into trouble, but shout out to Francisco for this because it can't get any more direct and apparent than this. And something must be done here if we're going to have accountability on a level playing field.
And I'm going to give basically a high-level presentation of what Ethereum is as a technology, and then kind of organizationally how it is, including this IPO.
Is there anything else to hear? Well, I'll tell you, there is something else to hear, and I think people are starting to hear us. This is from Z Crypto right here, and it says why many say Ethereum may be the next to land in the SEC's bad books following Ripple's XRP dilemma. Let's take a look really quickly here, and this is why I ask you guys to please continue to connect with Congress through John Deaton's Crypto Law US page, and make sure you contact your representative. Make sure you're tagging specific representatives. I'm asking people to specifically tag Chris Van Hollen from Maryland, Senator, and Chuck Grassley, who is a head of the whistleblower group. And here we see leading from this, there have been concerns as to why or which many cryptocurrencies could become the SEC's next target. A lot of speculation is that Ethereum could be its next target. This is especially the opinion of XRP advocates who have consistently pointed out that if the SEC could go after Ripple, which was not significantly different from Ethereum in structure, then it was unfair that Ethereum would get a free pass. Absolutely, but keep listening. One recurring piece of ammunition against Ethereum is a video from 2014 in which Ethereum founder Vitalik Buterin was pitching the Ether presale to would-be investors as a way to get into Ethereum. He also explained the choice of jurisdiction for launching the ICO was Switzerland because they had less stringent regulatory environment. With the proponents arguing that Ether not being considered to be a security is questionable, the SEC may be compelled to reevaluate the crypto asset. This may be the SEC's next move, either to save face and not look prejudiced, or because the observations of the market participants are valid and the Ether poses a potential danger to the consumer protection. From a legal standpoint, the fears of Ethereum seems to also be efficient. According to attorney Jeremy Hogan, Ethereum faces mild threat of being hunted by the SEC going by the Howey test. He points out that the blockchain has a pivotal organization that not only oversees the network, but it also actively involved in establishing capital to build the project. We just want a level playing field. I don't want to see anybody get into trouble. I hold Ethereum. I hold Bitcoin. I hold XRP. You guys know this. But I mean, I don't want to see anybody get in trouble. But I tell you this, I don't want to see all of us pay the price so someone else can get the jump. Think about the billions, the assembly line of ICOs that have been allowed to launch off the Ethereum network, the billions of dollars that have been created from those ICO projects being launched on there. It's like an assembly line because they feel they've gotten a free pass. And the reality is it was supposed to only be the personal opinion of William Hinman, for which the SEC unofficially adopted as guidance and has allowed these billions of dollars to flow into Ethereum while holding the rest of the market back. Taking a look here, this is a day late, but never too short, because we want to see this happen, and it needs to happen, and more of this needs to take place. U.S. Congress plans to demystify crypto with a committee on November 17th, and better late than never here, Representative Don Beyer, who previously proposed a legislation expanding the regulatory and legal framework for digital assets in the United States, will be chairing the hearing. It says here, according to the Joint Economic Committee of the JEC schedule for next week, Congress people will be listening to industry experts at a hearing called Demystifying Crypto, Digital Assets and the Role of Government. On November 17th, he proposed a legislation, obviously, and then here we see industry experts scheduled a speech at Alex Goldstein, Director of Financial Policy at the Open Markets Institute, Tim Masad, former chair of Commodity Futures Trade Commission, Kevin Werbach, director of Blockchain Digital Asset Project at the Wharton School, University of Pennsylvania, Peter Van Valkenburg, director of Research Coin Center, lawmakers including Senator Rob Portman, Senator Ted Cruz, who have both previously spoken in favor of crypto regulation, are JEC members as well. So we'll keep an eye on the results of that and if it ends up being fruitful. But while all of this is taking place with the SEC lawsuit, while all of this is taking place with Congress trying to figure out what they're going to do and really still educate a lot of the members of Congress on what crypto even is, Ripple is not stopping, and you're going to see evidence of that right now. Ripple's blockchain and payments report shine a light on businesses' thirst for better payments experiences and real-time settlement. It says here, 59% of respondents say real-time settlement for cross-border payments is key to business growth. 59%, in fact, 70% say real-time settlements can drive business expansion, and 68% real-time settlements can drive market share gains. So this is all upside, but look at who's playing along here. Ripple partner Neum and Sunning Financial Services joined forces to issue, listen, Visa corporate cards for companies in Hong Kong. Now you think about that relationship. Now we know Visa and Earthport and all of that, right, is tied to Ripple backend too, but you're seeing even more connections now, which I believe ultimately lead to this new transition to the digital world and the new backend payment rails and protocols that will eventually be used. And in just a second, you're about to hear the CEO of FTX talk to David Schwartz about exactly who's going to win that, right? How many protocols? Because there's many different protocols out here. They can't all win, and that's the way an innovation race should be, as long as market regulators aren't holding some of us back and letting some of us win. Looking right here is more evidence of what's going on here. Ripple partner Novati awarded principal acquiring license by both Visa and MasterCard. Another Ripple partner tying in to the original payment rails and payment companies of Visa and MasterCard. You know, these are the largest payment rails really that exist in a commercial sense. Visa and MasterCard, and then American Express, and they've been a partner to Ripple for years. All of this is looking to take us to where we need to go, I believe. And I believe this is also evidence, too, when you see Ripple backend partnered to Novati getting the licensing both for Visa and MasterCard, you really start to understand just how wholesale backend the Ripple product offering is, and ultimately the use of XRP, I believe, right? So take a look at this, because this is the Ripple page, and they had the CEO of FTX sit down and talk with David Schwartz as a part of Swell to talk about the next era of crypto. And it's really the innovation race. And that's why we got to get this case sorted out. And that's really why we need to get clarity for the whole crypto space. We need to see practical application of these protocols and this innovation so we can find out who is going to win by use case, right? Not by speculation, by practical application. That's what's going to prove out. That's how we ended up with Google instead of AOL, right? That's how we ended up with Google instead of Alta Vista and all these other things that existed, Netscape and all of this. It's over. That race has been figured out, and that is the moment we're in now. But we got to get the market regulators back in their own lane, and the only way to do that is to have Congress really give us the clarity. Take a listen. Here we go.
Chains, but I multiple chains, continued believe that there will be, continued multiple chains, but I don't sort of envision that there are going to be 58 chains, all of which have extremely heavy global usage, and everyone is sort of flipping a coin between, or rolling a 58-sided die every time they want to launch a project, or that people like, oh, you want chain number 38 because you're building in this sector. I sort of think that's too many for a stable equilibrium. And so I'm sort of imagining 4 is more like the number of chains we're likely to see get really significant adoption in the end. And I don't know necessarily what 4 of those will be, but I think it's more likely to be single digits than double digits. I think that basically there's just huge network effects from being on the same chain.
And there you have it. There is huge network effects from being on the same chain. And I think that's why I just showed you the news about Ripple being back end to a lot of the companies they're partnered with, like Novati and Neum, and how they're getting licensed and tied into, and Earthport even from back in the day when they were purchased. And they're all being tied into the commercial payment chains that we're seeing like Visa and MasterCard. This is extremely exciting about about what is coming. And I think he makes a great point that there's not going to be 58 winners. There's not 58 Googles, right? There's Google, there's Yahoo, and a couple others, right? And that's really where we are today. So, guys, before we get out of here, ladies and gentlemen, give us a follow on TikTok. We're going to blow this page up. It is a really hot platform, and we're going to tear it up. We're going to get out here and start dropping content for you. Digital Perspectives, no spaces, on TikTok. Give us a follow there, and we'll catch all of you on the next one. Make sure you check out all the links in the description and comment section. Make sure you check out all the products and services that I use each and every day. They're trusted, vetted links, and there's great specials and deals, but you got to click the links. I'll catch all of you on the next one.